Hi and welcome, it's Dawn here at Stickleton, and as you can see I'm in the polytunnel. A bit of a catch up of what's been happening or what hasn't been happening this week. There's lots and lots of stuff to get done. I've got stuff waiting to be planted. What's been holding me up? An injury. Yeah, it's looking a bit grubby and dirty, isn't it? So let me just explain briefly what happened. We were loading one of the buffalo bulls to go on his final journey, and as he was going into the livestock trailer, I was standing outside the enclosure. As he was going into the livestock trailer, I had my hand on the roll bar gate. He backed up and my little finger got trapped between his big fat behind and the roll bar gate, and my finger was basically crushed. When he moved away and I got my hand out, I could see the skin had been completely peeled back, exposing the bone underneath. It was extremely painful. I came down to the house with the intention of cleaning it up, dressing, going back up to help Martin. Came down to the house, had a good look at it, and I thought, I'm not even going to attempt to clean that up. And as you can imagine, we'd been handling the buffalo and we were knee deep in buffalo muck, and so you can imagine the mess my hand was in. So I just put a dressing on to protect it, because I could see the bone was exposed, the skin had been peeled back although it was still attached, and I used what we call vet wrap, which is a self-clinging like bandage wrap, to go around my hand, hold the dressing in place. I walked back up to Martin and I said, I'm going to have to go to A&E, accident and emergency here in the UK. I said, this is beyond my first aid skills. So the buffalo got a bit of a reprieve, and Martin took me up to A&E. I must say our A&E in Carmarthen, Gwangili Hospital, was absolutely fantastic. When I walked in and I saw masses and masses of people there, and I thought, oh no, this is going to be a 6-8 hour wait. I mean, I was, bleeding quite a fair bit as well, but I went up to, Martin had gone to try and park the car somewhere because the car parks were full, and I'd gone up to reception and booked myself in, told them what had happened, and I said, look, I can see you're really busy, am I looking at a 6-8 hour wait? And she goes, no, she says, I'm going to send you straight up to minor injuries. You're booked in, just go straight up there, and it's a lot quieter up there and you'll get seen very quickly. Went up to minors, and there was one person in front of me. So when they called me through, Martin had already come up and found me and called me through, and the doctor examined it, sent it up for an x-ray, came back, yeah, the joint had been fractured, and they then started to treat it and put in stitches and everything else. I was back at the nurse yesterday to get the dressing changed. It's still very ugly looking, very swollen, but yeah, she's put a bit more padding on because I do keep knocking it. And then some point next week I should get my stitches out. So anyway, that's basically what's happened. It has been extremely painful. It's got to be the worst pain I've ever felt. It just hasn't eased up at all, and I've got no use, of course, of my little finger, which you'd think, it's on your little finger, it doesn't really matter, but you'd be surprised how much that little finger affects what you do, and I'm right-handed and this is my right hand, so it's been very debilitating this week. I've not managed to get plants planted out, but I'm gonna show you around and show you what has been happening and what little bits I did get done before this happened. So let me flick the camera around. Right, here in the polytunnel. Now this is the polytunnel that I lost all my citrus trees in over that really sharp spell in winter. So I decided, look, there's some of them over there. I think the rest of them have popped outside. So I decided I was going to take them out of the ground anyway. So I did, took them all out and reordered some new ones. So most of these are new ones. So this is lemons down this end. So that's a new lemon tree. Now this lemon tree is also new, but it's coming out in masses of flowers. So hopefully we might get 1 or 2 fruits off it this year, but we shall see. This is my satsuma, which I thought I had lost. There's still a few bits I've got to cut back off it there, but I thought I had lost. But look, it is throwing out flowers, unbelievable, you know, right along there. So hopefully we will get some fruit this winter from the satsuma tree. My pomegranate, it did have a few flower buds on it, but they've dropped. We suddenly had a bit of a drop in temperature, so it's decided, no, I'm not going to flower. But it might do yet anyway. It's still early in the season. Lots and lots of parsley. Now this is my blue sausage fruit plant, and as you can see, it's in flower, and they're really, really pretty little flowers. And there's lots and lots of flowers this year, all up there, all up there. So I'm ever hopeful that we might get some fruit, but we'll just have to wait and see. It did flower last year, but no fruit set, so we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, this citrus tree I kept in the ground, cut it right back. Very often they will reshoot up on the actual trunk, so I'm just leaving that one to wait and see if it doesn't, because the roots are quite firmly in on that one. This is an orange tree, one of the new orange trees. I've got another couple here, but I've pulled back, and I've got them in pots, and I'm just going to wait and see whether they do shoot or not. This is a new little peach tree I've got. You can't really see much, but it's not long come out of cold storage. But yeah, new little peach tree, so hopefully he'll be all right. The olive tree does need a bit of cutting back. Now this orange tree, when it arrived, it was covered in beautiful, beautiful leaves, and then it's sort of gone into a bit of a shock and the leaves dropped, but there's lots of new leaves coming out, so I'm not worried about it. This orange tree, this is how that one was. Oh, that one's a lime there. That's it, because I've done oranges, lime, lemon. And that's how that tree was, but this one has held its leaves. This was my really big orange tree, and it had 70 odd fruits on it when it froze solid this winter. So again, I'm just waiting to see, because it's got quite a good root system on it, just waiting to see whether that is going to rebud or not. My Japanese loquat, he's coming on really well, lots of new growth there. And I've got my kiwi here, which I need to get fastened up, and it's starting to go through this, so this needs to go on my must do straight away list, because I don't want it to grow up through this. Passion fruit, that's putting on loads of growth. I'm going to put a few more, I want to get a few more training wires up across here for it to go across. My grape is waiting for its training wires as well. This one is a white seedless, but having been stuck with just one hand and a bit, it's not been easy. There's a lot of things I've not been able to do. Now this is my Szechuan pepper, and I've just noticed we're getting little flowers. You see them? So will we get some peppers off it this year? That would be really, really good. It's quite a thorny plant, but it would be really good if we could get some peppers off it. I ordered a dwarf plum, that's this one here, and goji berry, that's that one there. So they've been planted in, and these here, my dahlias, I've moved all my dahlias over here as well, so that's what's pushing up through the ground. But these here in the pots, pepino melons. So I've got 2 of those that I got from a local nursery the other day. As you can see, there's poor dead citrus trees everywhere. This is a plum tree, but it hasn't flowered since I've had it, and I was hoping this year it might, but it hasn't. The peach tree, beautiful blossom this year again, and just look, all this fruit coming, lots and lots of fruit. It is going to be laden with fruit again this year, so I'm really quite excited about that. I've got some strawberries there, and the first strawberries are starting to set. I did lose some of the strawberries, so I've got to get some more strawberry plants to replace the gaps in my strawberry tower. Yeah, so that is basically that tunnel. So let me head off round to the other one. The rhubarb is all doing fine after being moved. Look, I did get myself a new little bench. That was a couple of weeks ago, and I've got my pots of plants out there. Tulips, lots of tulips everywhere. The fruit trees out here are doing fine. This one is a pear. That's an apple, I don't know if you can see it over there. That's a medlar. No, it's not, it's a mulberry. That's a mulberry, and that's a plum. So, garlic's doing well. Right, into the big polytunnel. Right, just before my accident, I managed to get some seeds sown. So we got in radish mooley, snowball turnip, and normal turnips, and they're actually all starting to come up. So that's really good. We're still pulling up beetroots. I have got onions there waiting to be planted, but they've got to wait. I've got new raspberry canes have arrived, they're waiting to be planted. I did get all the buckets of potatoes done, all along the back there. And they've only been in not even a week yet. But these were the ones from earlier in the year, so they're doing quite well. Celeriac is still doing all right. And the little herb seeds are doing fine. I managed to get some stevia plants from a local nursery, so they're going to go in that trough there. These are waiting to be planted out, and these are all waiting to be potted up, and these are waiting to be potted up. As you see, I've got an awful lot to do. The cauliflower and broccolis are all coming along fine. I've got some pak choy to get planted in that bit. Peas are all coming on fine. Got more peas on the go. and all the sweet corn is up. There's all celery at the back there. These are the peas. They're all coming on great. And then we have this big gap. This big gap is where I was having a mouse problem, and it was topping all the plants off. This is all mouse traps that's in here, in these. Yeah, so, but I mean, they are reshooting up, but they've had a real serious knockback. So that was, I did say about that on last week's video, mouse vermin. Yes, Swiss chard, spinach. I'm starting to take the tops out of these now and feeding them to the goats. So they're starting to go over. Yeah, like I said, I got the raspberry canes have arrived for the new raspberry bed. If you remember on last week's video, that's where the new peas are going, in that bed. I was showing you what I was doing in the fruit cage. The new netting has arrived. We started putting it on. It was being left to the next day to finish because it was starting to get dark, and it was the next day I had the accident, so it hasn't been finished. Blueberries all coming into flower. Look at that. It's going to be a good blueberry year. And there's Mr. Bumblebee. I don't know if you can see him doing his job there in the monster flowers. Blackcurrants, they've all got flowers on. Cherry trees, all the blossoms come out. Really, really good, and there's just lots of bees all around the blossom, and there are honey bees as well. This is the new raspberry bed. I've got all this area clear. I've got that bed out and cleared. This new bed made. It's been filled with a mixture of compost, well rotted manure, mulched down wood shavings and leaves, some clay pebbles and everything to help with the drainage. I started bringing the wood over, sitting over there, to start building a frame for the raspberries, and of course then the accident happened, so that's all been on a bit of a halt. But next week I will be catching up. Once I can get a glove on my hand, I'll be catching up. Right, in the last polytunnel. Now, these are parsnips that were sown quite some time ago. The parsnips were sown, and they're all coming up now. I've re-sown the carrots, so they'll start coming up. Anyway, I've got all the tomatoes planted, so they're all in their plant halos. That's marigolds waiting. Now this tomato here, he's trying to flower already, bless him. Oh, good. Yeah, so all the tomatoes are planted and they're all starting to grow really, really well. The grapevine, that's coming on really well. I want to get up and take this branch here off because it's going to be in the way of the watering system. We've had loads of asparagus, absolutely loads, so I'm now leaving it to rest. These lettuces, we've had loads of pickings off them, but they're starting to bolt as well. Sweet peas, these are all self-seeded from last year. Stray potato down there. This side, the plant halos are in place, but there's nothing in them. This is where squashes and cucumbers and everything are supposed to go. And the pepper plants, the pots are just sitting there waiting to be planted. And I've got marigolds waiting to be planted as well. The rocket needs taking out, that can all go to the goats. We've been starting to eat that lettuce. I've got my first lot of beans in there. So that is the polytunnels. I did get this area all cleared, ready for planting out as well. So everything's ready, it's just all waiting on me now. In readiness of getting rid of all of that from the field. Martin is starting to build all the racking here, which will be storage for all the scaffold tubes. And then there'll be storage for all the boards, so which means we can get the field clear. That bed I showed you before, that one is waiting for squashes. Baby chicks, they've moved out. Not outside at the moment, but let's in fact it's time to start moving them off chick crumbs and onto growers. But yeah, they're all feathering up. Still got one which is the last one that hatched. You see him over there? He's a bit misshapen. I was hoping she might have straightened up a bit, but she hasn't. But she's holding her own with the others, so she might be in with a chance of being okay. So yeah, so the little chicks, which aren't so little anymore, are all getting their big feathers. And the brown ones will move in with our odd chickens. And the white ones, which are light Sussex, will go in with them. And it doesn't look, looking at them, it doesn't look like we've got any cockerels. I was hoping for cockerels because cockerels would have been some meat birds for us, but out of this lot, none of them look like they might be cockerels. You'll have to wait and see, they might be trying to fool me. I haven't even seen any cockerel behaviour. So, there we go. So, yeah, lots going on. This area here will become all part of the growing area. Exactly when, I don't know. Yes, there's been lots happening. I've got lots waiting to get done, desperately waiting to get done, but they're just going to have to hold off another week until I get my stitches out. And then once I get the stitches out, it will be, and I'll be able to get a glove on. That's the most important thing, is be able to get a glove on. And once I can do that, then it'll be all systems go. I might even try and manufacture myself a mitt, a waterproof mitt that I can put on my hands, on my hand. Yeah, let's just wait and see. So it's just starting to spit with rain again now. It's been a bit of a rainy day today. It's been fairly sunny up until now, and of course it's coronation day here. We've had the coronation today, King's coronation, which was very enjoyable to watch. Yeah, a once in a lifetime thing. I have started, I don't know if you can see, I've been cutting some of the grass back. All the daffodils are now going over, so that can all be trimmed, but I'm trying to cut areas of grass without daffodils in, using my trusty 2-wheel strimmer. Yeah, trying to get them cut so that I can rake it up and then I can just throw it over to the buffalo. Yeah, so that's about it. We're trying to get ready for the gas engineer. He'll be coming, today's Saturday, he'll be coming, I'll walk through the dark boot room. He's coming on Monday. You see I've got the fly screen up because it's fly season. Yeah, the engineer is coming on Monday. Walk into the new kitchen part and I'll show you. We've got the cooker hood up. The engineer will be connecting all the gas supply, bringing the gas supply in from the bottled gas. And so we can get the cooker all connected up, which means we can then get all this chaos sorted. New sink has arrived. My new tap has arrived, which I'm quite excited about. Let me show you my tap. That's my new kitchen tap. So it's got a swivelly, nozzly bit on the top, and yeah, new kitchen tap. So yeah, so hopefully next week there will be a sink in, the cooker will be in and functioning, the sink will be in. Then all we're waiting on is worktops on, splashback done, electrician come, put all the sockets in, then that's it. I can fill all the cupboards to my heart's content. Yeah, so that's about it really for this week. I haven't got a vast amount to say, you know, it's been just it's been a very painful week. Night time, it's particularly painful. I've never known pain like it. And at night, it's just like it's burning. And I'm on antibiotics as well, you know, because there's big concerns of infection because of the environment I was working in. Even cooking, I found cooking, you know, quite difficult to do because I can't hold a knife properly to cut. But this time next week, hopefully stitches will be out and it'll all be on the road to recovery. I don't know whether I'll get the movement back into that finger because, like the doctor pointed out in the x-ray it showed, I've got a fair amount of arthritis there, and the joint on the little finger, the joint part way up my finger, that one there rather than on the hand, has been crushed. Yeah, so we'll just wait and see. So what I've been doing in the meantime is, well, pottering around and doing what I can on where I can. I'm getting back into meal planning. Now we've got the new fridge and these freezers down here filled. Back into meal planning and yeah, just working through everything really. So Martin's just gone to collect some more haylage bales because we've still got the buffalo shut in. In the next few weeks we need to get them out. He needs to get the fencing sorted and we need to get the buffalo out. But we're waiting on the grass over there to start really growing properly. We've had warm spells, but it's been getting really, really cold at night, and then that stops the grass growing. We need it to be in a proper good growth to be able to turn the buffalo out, because otherwise we'll just ruin the fields. So yeah, so what I managed to cut, I'm going to be, I think tomorrow's a dry day, I'm going to be cutting down the bottom end of the garden. So get all that raked up and we just throw it into the troughs of the buffalo and they can just munch away on that in the meantime. So anyway, take care everybody. Yeah, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Next week hopefully there's a lot more to show you, and hopefully the sun will be out a lot more in this next week as well. So take care, bye bye.